What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here in this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, I'm going to return back to our favorite meme of this channel, which is it's the best time to get into Splinterlands right now. And what I mean by that is if you look at the card values, specifically the Chaos Legion edition, the core edition, you can see here that the set is now once again at pretty much its lowest overall value that it has been over the last 6 months. And we know at any point before this, it was definitely even higher than that. So I think the lowest that I was able to find was back here maybe on, July 1st, when you saw just under $2,300 if you were to buy the entire Chaos set, fully maxed out. Obviously today that's about $50 more at $2,353, but you can see just visually here that we have come back down and we are kind of in that low point again. Now, what's interesting is there was a lot of hype leading into, well, I shouldn't say leading into July, but leading into August. So after we got two major releases in July, the first of which was the SPS staking requirement, which definitely shot up the amount or the value, I should say, of SPS overall, made people realize that, if you want to earn, you will need to have SPS staked. You could see that there was a start, or we started to raise in value. And then towards the end of July, we also got the modern bot ban or the human only league. So there was a lot of hype, FOMO sentiment that was kind of filled, maybe not FOMO, but definitely a lot of hype leading into August. And then, of course, August, we got the announcement that there was going to be land on Mavs. That hasn't delivered yet, but we can see that sentiment followed that pretty much throughout. So what's interesting here is we just had the town hall a couple days ago where we saw a full walkthrough of land. And we're not seeing that sentiment necessarily lead up yet, but it leads me to believe that we could, just based on history over here, we could potentially see another rise in the overall card values as people start to stake cards on their land. Now, at the risk, I know this is a meme at this point, right? So at the risk of this being like totally blown out of proportion, I do think that there is that this could be the last time we actually say this. I know. Somebody's going to clip this in about 6 months when Splinterlands is in the gutter again, potentially, and yeah, that's fine. But my point is, when you look at all of the things that have been put into place, I do believe that there is a strong chance. I'm just putting the argument out there. I'm not even saying that I fully believe in it, right? I'm just saying there's a strong chance that this might be the last time we see super low value for Chaos Legion cards. Unless you're also considering like when Chaos Legion rotates out of modern format, which may not be for another year or two at this point. But the reason I'm talking about it in that way is because we've had several things, which I mentioned, right? We had the SPS staking requirement go live. We had the human only league, which has made modern, much better of an experience overall. You earn more, right? Even if the experience isn't better because of the battle helpers. But with land potentially coming down the pipeline, and then more importantly, Rebellion around the corner, I actually think that there's a good chance that we see land eat up a significant amount of cards. Again, I've been on the channel stating, for the record, that I don't think land is going to do as much for cards as people expect it to. I do think it will do something for cards, right? But I don't think it's going to wipe all the cards off the board. There's still, 2.8 million Chaos Legion packs available. So I don't believe that it's necessarily going to, eat all of that up. But with it eating a lot of cards off the market potentially, and then people having to only go in open packs as needed, we could see a small but significant rise in the value. Then on top of that, you got Rebellion coming out, and counterintuitively, or like intuitively, I guess however you want to look at it, you would think of like, okay, Rebellion's coming out, and I'm going to, go and buy the cards, or some people are going to go and buy the cards, or buy packs, or whatever the case is, and get, super ingrained in whatever the meta for Rebellion ends up being. My guess is that instead of people just going all in on Rebellion, if Chaos Legion is still cheaper and there are definitely cards that will still be vital for the meta, and that meta is going to change significantly once Untamed is rotated out and we get to see what the full lineup of cards are for Rebellion, I actually think people will come back and start to scoop up cards, or maybe even open packs to find cards for a lot of the Chaos Legion, collection that they are missing. So I can, I'm mainly talking from my own perspective, but I know that I'm not the only one that doesn't have a maxed Chaos Legion deck. And while I would like to, I'm not necessarily tied to it. I'm looking forward to Rebellion and seeing what's there, and not necessarily opening a bunch of packs, but going and finding the meta cards. But here's the thing. For all the cards that I don't have maxed out, whether it's fully maxed out or just maxed for gold, one thing that I will be paying attention to when I make a decision on what Rebellion being in the landscape means, and that not only means Rebellion being like, changing the meta because of the new cards, but also Untamed rotating out, so all of a sudden maybe some cards get new value or more utility because of the fact, and I'm talking about Chaos Legion cards, right? Because of the fact that they're no longer, maybe nerfed by Untamed cards, or, and here's a cool thing, maybe some of these cards end up being buffed by Rebellion cards, right? So if Rebellion comes in and kind of finds a way to balance something that, we don't traditionally look at in the Chaos Legion set, people could then start to come back and be like, oh, wait, you know what? I think I do want a max copy of this Chaos Legion common card, or whatever the case is, right? So we're heading into a place where there's a lot of really cool things happening. I think the last thing that I'll mention is that we had about 6 months worth of packs that were being given out in reward chests. That started, I believe, in March when we sold out. So we should be coming to the end of that very soon, meaning that anybody who's been receiving packs, whether they're opening them or selling them on the marketplace, the pack inflation or dilution overall should slow down as well. So we won't be getting those into the circulating supply that people can, choose to either sell or whatever the case is. So with that being said, right, it's a couple of different factors that are all going to come in that make me believe that we are actually looking at the bottom of Chaos Legion. Again, can't guarantee it, but just want to put it out there. Get your thoughts. Let me know what you think of all the things that I presented. If you agree, disagree, would love to know. But that is all I have for you guys in this video. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.